Hello guys, Mark here from H2 Tackling Outdoors. We're going to grill and smoke some chickens tomorrow. First thing that I want to do, my preparation starts a day in advance where we are going to brine these chickens. First thing you want to start with is, if you can, find a chicken, whole chickens that say they are minimally processed. If they're not minimally processed, that means they've already been injected with some kind of a brine solution. Who knows what that is, but I always try to find the ones that are minimally processed. Now what a brine is really is salt water. I put a little bit more stuff in there, but if you can't help but find some that have already been injected with a solution, you're going to want to cut your salt back a little bit. I mean, you can still use them, but you're just going to want to cut your salt back a little bit. What brining does to these is make these, they hold their moisture better, and they're a lot more tender, and it gives them a really, really good flavor. Anytime I'm cooking poultry, I will brine it, like a turkey. If I'm roasting a turkey, if I'm smoking a turkey for Thanksgiving or whenever, turkey's not just for Thanksgiving, you know, and I will brine these. And I have this special brining bucket that I bought. It is a food safe bucket. Not sure what makes it food safe, but that says food safe. So maybe they can charge you another $1 for it because it says that, but that's what I bought. I also pre-mark the gallon marks on here. So this is a gallon, that's 2 gallons, that's 3 gallons. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut these chickens open. We're going to put some water in here. We're going to put the brine ingredients in there, get it stirred up, throw these chickens in there, and get them in the refrigerator. First thing you're going to want to add here is your water. With these 2 chickens, I'll probably put in about 2 gallons of water. With the turkey, sometimes I'll go 3. Rarely do I do anything with 1. I will use just 1 gallon of water sometimes if I'm brining some pork chops. I'll cut up some pork loins or something, or buy some pork chops at the store, and I'll brine those. Those work out really good too. Throw them on the grill or smoker. But for now, I'm going to put 2 gallons of water in here. Okay, we got our water in our bucket up here to the 2 gallon mark. Next thing we're going to do is mix up our brine. The recipe that I follow is probably a little bit different than you've seen, but a lot of guys call for a cup of salt and a cup of sugar per gallon. That's way too much salt for me, I think. Even on a minimally processed bird, it seems like it ends up way too salty. I go with 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of salt per gallon of water. It's very basic. I add a couple of things, or I added something else in there too. I'll show you here when we get to that point. But we've got our water, so we're going to go ahead and mix up the brine. 2 gallons of water. It's going to be a full cup of salt. What I have here is just some canning and pickling salt. You can probably use any salt you want. I just use the canning and pickling. Cup of sugar. Remember, this is 2 gallons. I'll give you the recipe at the end of the video. The other thing that I throw in here, you've probably seen this in the store, is Old Bay seasoning. Works really good. It's a seafood type of thing, like a crab boil, shrimp type thing. But I always pour a wad of this in there. Some people say this doesn't soak into the meat, and really the only thing that absorbs into it is the salt and the sugar. I don't know. I like using the Old Bay. It gives it a great smell, if nothing else. I don't measure this either, I just dump it in. It's good. Stir it up good. Then we'll be ready for the chickens. You're going to want to make sure all your salt and sugar is well dissolved in here. Pick up your spoon, see if there's any salt or sugar floating around in there. You can also tell you can hear it rubbing against the bottom of the bucket when you're stirring it. Should be good there. I'll show you what this brine looks like. Okay, here's what the brine looks like so far. It's taken on a bit of a dark color with that Old Bay. But other than that, you could probably taste this if you wanted to. I mean, if it's not salty enough for you, I suppose you could throw a little more salt in there, I guess. But other than that, it looks like we're ready for the chickens. Okay, we've got our brine mixed up and we're ready for the chickens. About all I'm going to do with these is cut them open, drain the blood off, give them a quick rinse under the water just to drain the blood off, toss them in the brine bucket. I don't know if there's giblets in here or not, but if there is, I'll fish those out. Giblets. Save these, they make great coyote bait. Toss these chickens in here. And sink on down in the bucket. Make sure they're covered. Now we got the chickens in the brine. And what I will do with that bucket now is I will take that out to my garage and I'll put that in my fridge and leave it for, we're going to smoke the chickens tomorrow. We'll probably start smoking the chickens around 1 o'clock or noon or somewhere in there. And it's about 2 o'clock now. So they will sit in there roughly 24 hours, 22 hours, something like that. A little less won't hurt it, a little more won't hurt it either. So I've left things in the brine for a couple of days. So I'm going to take those out, put them in the refrigerator, and we'll see you tomorrow when we smoke chickens.